Hello, I'm Donald Leggett. Welcome to the latest London South East CEO interview. I'm joined today by Andrea Cattaneo, CEO at LEC Main Market and Oslo Stock Exchange listed Zenith Energy. Zenith's strategic focus is to develop proven revenue generating oil assets, as well as low-risk exploration in assets with existing production. Zenith currently have a market cap of around £18 million and have just acquired a 22.5% equity stake in the SLK concession in Tunisia for around 1.6 million US. So welcome, Andrea. Thank you so much for joining us from Tunisia today.
Good morning. Very nice to join too.
Okay, so let's start by asking you about the SLK assets, which you've just acquired in Tunisia. How do they fit into your Tunisian strategy?
We were approached by the vendor of SLK 2 years ago, and this was just one of the many opportunities that we receive on our table, as we have the reputation to be a quick acquirer of producing asset, and to be somebody that is able to make a transaction very rapidly in respect to the standard of the market. Unfortunately, then COVID came. We made the acquisition, but then there was a lot of delays in the approval by the Tunisian bureaucracy of this transaction. Then eventually in February, I decided to come to Tunisia instead of working remotely in e-meetings. And the pattern changed completely. We made 2 acquisitions in 30 days of another company called Ecument Petroleum Tunisia and Ecument Petroleum Zeniths. And then in the meantime, we understood what was the basic mistake in the approach for the SLK transaction. And with a few months of cure, we've been able to complete this transaction last Monday. So this field, SLK, means really CDL Kilani, is an historical field in the country, has been perceived as a grand opportunity, and then he has got a very large company's partnership with China National Petroleum Corporation and the KUFPEC, which is the entity in oil operation of the Republic of Kuwait, the Kingdom of Kuwait. So then, as a consequence, we could only see tremendous power in this association between the Tunisian state and these 2 powerful giants, but unfortunately being proportionally for them not very important, has been neglected for the last 15 years.
So then, if I could just ask, what exactly have you purchased, Andrea?
Yes, we purchased 22.5 of this field, CDL Kilani, which has reached historically a production of 20,000 barrels before being sort of forgotten and gone in decline. So then eventually these 2 large shareholders realized that there was not possible to spend the quality time on these subsidiaries. And so one after the other sold to us. Eventually there were delays, but then this time we have completed the transaction at least with one of them, CNPC. So this produce a rather modest amount of oil per day, 150 barrels, but has an extreme potential because nothing has been done in this field for years, substantially. And then we believe that with our presence, an injection of ideas and program and drilling program will be brought to this field, which can return at least to a few thousand barrels. And we have the possibility still to buy a second stake of 22.5, so to reach 45%, which is the classic scheme of a joint venture in Tunisia, where 55% is held by the state and the 45% is held by 1 or 2 international operators. So the deal has been very convenient, as you can imagine, because we got more oil than what is the value of the consideration. So we have 30,000 barrels in stock, which added to our produce stock in the months to come will be then sold to the market, creating additional turnover for Zenith.
So why have they included 30,000 barrels of oil in the deal? I can understand that it's at the end of its working life as far as they're concerned, because they're big boys, and you can come in and make a real difference as a small, nimble operator. Why the 30,000 barrels of oil, though?
Well, you know that there are, in the scheme of things, various operatorships processes for which you cannot sell oil barrels as a pair of shoes. And so then there are logistic, there are vessel, and there are a variety of other seasonal trend of purchasing a type of oil. And so for that reason, it was impossible for them to sell it before.
They simply haven't been able to sell it.
No, not unable to sell it, but has not been in the grand scheme of a giant, not the focus to sell it while it was there. You know, when you are a huge company, sometimes certain things have a different value than for you and me.
So how will you be paying for the deal, and how quickly do you hit break even?
We are already in break even now. We paid the deal from our pockets with our reserves, and we will then have a accrued cash flow, selling the oil and paying the cost, the salary and technical capex investment, as is the normal life of an oil operator.
So you see this is a very good deal.
It is a very good deal. It is very much matching the standard approach of Zenith, which is what? To buy deals in an opportunistic attitude. So not looking for spending millions and millions, which we don't have as a junior. Taking properties when they come to the market for some geopolitical reason. Last year, the majority of operators were intended to leave Tunisia for whatever reason they had. As we are contrarian, we were very much interested in taking a different approach, a contrarian approach, to a wave of people leaving Tunisia. So then we decide, as opposite thinking, to buy in Tunisia. So that, let's say, that we have quite an acquaintance with Tunisia. We bought in 2008 three blocks participation, and we sold it in 2010. Then there has been in 2011 the revolution, and then after a decade, there are now changes in Tunisia that, in our opinion, make the country more and more attractive.
Okay, so you're very active in Tunisia and Congo Brazzaville at the moment. Can you explain to me what you've got coming up in those two territories?
Again, I want to explain why Congo and not, Mozambique. We are a company specialized in marginal fields. Marginal fields are a byproduct of an oil industry that has lasted at least 30, 40 years. And so the oil industry has been active in Africa for 40 years, only in 6-7 countries. And in these 6-7 countries, we focus. One of these countries is Congo Brazzaville, which is member of OPEC. At the moment, is one of the 4 members of OPEC in Africa. And at the moment, we are the only independent junior in Congo Brazzaville. So that says a lot about the easiness to settle there as a junior, and as well the potential tremendous upside for somebody settling there with success. For the moment, we are present since 2 years. We have produced for 1 year. And then we spent the second part of our stay to renew the license of Tilapia. Tilapia license is an extremely attractive license, has been sold to us by the now defunct Anglo-African Oil and Gas, and which made a great success with it, raising more than £25 million. And then we take all the benefit of this investment of our predecessor, having a well that is with integrity, but not completed, which needs only some deepening and then completion. And then the structure, which is called Geno, the oil structure, the geological structure, is called Geno, and is considered a prime site in Africa, a prime structure in Africa, where our neighbors are Eni and Total, and they produce between 15 and 25,000 barrels per day.
Okay, Andrea, if I could stop you there. The Tilapia 25-year license renewal, how are negotiations for that coming along?
Well, you know, I am saying since a while that we are on the verge of signing. So I should rephrase this time, saying that we are standing by to sign, and we are confident that the counterparty will come with a pen soon to sign with us the license. But as we are the only junior in the country, you should appreciate that things don't go in that country as smoothly as somebody in the investors league can expect or hope. So we have been tremendously patient, and we believe that our presence in the country, our acquaintance with the system, and our determination to sign the renewal will be rewarded soon with the new Tilapia 2 license.
Patience is indeed a virtue, Andrea. So you're clearly very busy. What kind of news flow can we expect in the next 6 to 9 months from Zenith?
Well, you know, the main point is again to see what we are. You know, we are an operator. You should maybe think about this concept when we finish our conversation, because if you would look at the junior company in London that you know, you will discover that many of them are not operator. Operator is somebody that is able to front the government, to sign a loan with the government, to employ people, and to produce alone oil, which is what we are. Then this quality is becoming rare. A lot of people prefer to be participant behind a mid-tier operator or a major even, and so to take just the accounting 3 times or 4 times per annum of the oil sold and the capex spent. Ourselves, we are actively engaged in making more oil out of the country, which means relation with the community, relation with the personnel, relation with the authorities. Relation with the community in Africa is extremely complicated and needs a lot of fantasy and a lot of empathy, and the same with the authorities. And then the system is normally in these few countries where they have a big 40 years old petroleum system is easy because petroleum is exported from there since 40 years. So that is not a problem. The problem is to get the license and then to go in production.
And my final question, Andrea, what's your investment summary? Why should I hold stock in Zenith Energy?
Well, the first reason is that the stock at the moment is very undervalued. It's very undervalued because there have been certain transactions that have been delayed. And so the first reason now to hold the stock is that all these transactions are coming to fruition. So Congo, Brazzaville, most probably, additional acquisition in Tunisia, the development in Nigeria. And on top of that, the company is in a perfect position to buy other fields that are offered to us in a very short period of time without passing to bureaucratic approval. So our attitude to buy quickly other fields that can be between 2,000 and 5,000 barrels can be a very important reason for the potential investor or the old investors to hold our shares, because the price will reflect the new reserves and the new production.
Andrea Cattaneo, CEO at Zenith Energy, thank you so much for joining us today. That was absolutely fascinating. Thank you so much. Zenith have a bulletin board on London South East, so please do jump on there and share your thoughts. And if you'd like to comment about Zenith on our Twitter account, it's @London South East. And to get alerts to interviews just like this one, please Google London South East YouTube channel and subscribe. Thank you for watching, as ever, and do stay safe.